Saturday, June the 9th, 2018. I'm back down in Rye. When I say back down, I haven't been here for a long time, since my mate was up there in the signal box. Not even sure if that's still used by looking at it. Anyway, bit of a grey day today. Mixed sunny intervals are forecast this afternoon. There's a decent breeze, mild. It's about 1 o'clock. I'm about to undertake the 12-mile circular version of this walk, as opposed to the extension to Lydd and Dungeness, because the firing ranges are in use today. I've come down this way again, i.e. Kent, because the trains at King's Cross and beyond are a nightmare, have been all week. Go via Thameslink have made a right pig's ear of the timetable. Anyway, by using some Pancras, it makes life a lot easier, so hopefully they'll have it all sorted out soon. Right, onwards and upwards. A couple of interesting little information panels I notice here on the platform. This one about the rare breeds. Stuck in amongst the flower pots. Interesting ticket office as well. Apparently this is all part of the Rye is part of the Marsh-Link line, which was threatened with closure by Beeching. Who else? But it survived. But it's one of the few in the southeast that isn't electrified apparently. Takes people through from Ashford to Eastbourne. Continuing up the busy main road through the town now. Supermarket opposite the station for those that need to know. Now walking down the high street. Pretty busy today, obviously being a Saturday. Nice church up there, top of Lyon Street. The old grammar school's now a record shop. Both are quite quaint in their way, seeing as vinyl's making a resurgence. Left towards the town gate. My onward journey's through this gap in the metal railing apparently. Views ahead there from the flight of steps towards my onward journey, which unfortunately today incorporates a wind farm, of which I'm going to get a close-up just to prove my point that they're absolutely useless, or next to as good as. This patch of grass apparently is known as the Fair and Bonfire Sorts, so I think that's self-explanatory. November the 5th and the visiting fair, no doubt. Heron at work down there. He's about 20 foot away from me. As we cross over the River Rother, which as you can see is currently out. Dunarth Hum. So our onward journey is along the grassy seawall path with this footpath marker next to it, as opposed to the obvious footpath in front of you along a tarmac path. The old heron's very conscious of me, has moved. So, as with the walk last week, we're on top of another seawall. Plenty of sheep out in the field today, rather than the cattle that I'm thinking might be ahead of me. Where there's marshy grazing lands, you tend to get the cattle. Fingers crossed. Plenty of old wrecks dumped up on the riverbank. I think this is the tidal section of the River Brede referred to in the text, joining the Rother. Another shot here from a different angle of the church that I captured earlier. People up in the tower today. Two more weeks to go to the longest day. Terrible, isn't it? Where the devil's that gone? Another good example here of some pretty trudge walking here through poorly maintained path on top of the seawall. Okay, a view back towards Rye and the terrain around it. One thing I'm noticing is that the old birds don't seem to mind the industrial nature of this area. I'll show you why in a minute. Over the river there you've got Rye Oil Refinery Limited. As I say, it's quite an imprint of man's past around here, but the birds don't seem to mind it. A number of warblers, and not warblers, but unusual birds around here. There's a large man-made lake on the left. People windsurfing on it. Ideal for that today. The path has become a lot clearer now. Short grass underfoot. Now taking the permissive golf path across the golf course. As you can see, we're now following the course of the former tramway, which was closed, I think it was just before the war. You can Google that though. Shame. Yeah, it's the Rye and Camber tramway. Better be a good little tourist earner now. The old elderflower blossoms are in big demand up my way. They're being collected by Ranson's Health because they turn them into pharmaceutical products. Natural ones, of course. This is the old Golf Links halt, part of the tramway. Rye Harbour Sailing Club over here on the right. We've got clear markings of the old tramway line here. Always sad to see these things when they die. Considering it's a Saturday, not many out on the links today. Links courses are, from what I can gather, not that popular amongst golfers. Because of the winds, I suppose, quite challenging. Lots of a lovely blue flower here. Once again, beats me what it is. I'm sure somebody will be able to identify it. As usual with purple and blue things, bees loving it. The old Harbour Master's office. Also an abundance of a yellow flower here, similar to a buttercup but clearly not one. Now walking next to a clearly man-made channel just ahead of Camber Sands. Also reminds me of the Squeeze song. Pulling mussels from a shell. Got the ruin of a former martello over there on the right bank. In the mist there, in the distance, I believe that's the edge of the downs. See here the force of the sea, what it's done over time, along with the soft underlying sand, no doubt. This channel echoes all the bird sounds, as you can hear. Some kind of gull, that I think. Not seeing much else in there other than gulls. See the old gun embattlements, relics of the war here. As we now arrive on Camber Sands beach, tide is out, which is unfortunate for me in a way because I can't go to Lydd. Anyway, wonderful expanse of beach here. In the very distance there you can just make out Dungeness, which is the goal of the main walk. Not for me today though. Yesterday was of course World Oceans Day, and they were highlighting on the news how although these beaches may look pristine because there's no large bits of plastic lying around, the damage has already been done because the plastic's broken down into micro molecules in the sand, and that's getting into the plankton, getting eaten by the fish, and so up onto our food chain. What a mess we've made of the planet, eh? As the Stranglers said, who wants the world? Not sure where they're coming from, but the house martins are making good use of this damp mud, topping up their houses. Good sprinkling of people down here today. There's a stiff easterly, northeasterly breeze blowing at me as I'm walking. It's bringing a bit of a hum, which I don't know if it's coming from Dungeness or not, but doesn't smell too pleasant. Now the escape route for those that want lunch in Camber, in the various hostelries up there, is by that large E sign next to the sort of orange, fluorescent orange flag behind the dunes. But I'm going to continue on as I'm not having a hostelry lunch. Just as we come to the end of the row of houses referred to in the text, about to branch left away from the beach, it's starting to get a bit more shingly here as the beach narrows. And obviously up towards Dungeness, masses of shingle apparently. I do recall that from a previous walk. information panel here about Broomhill Sands Coastal Defence. Google that if you're interested. That's the essence of it there. So we now come across the first time today England Coast Path symbol. Quite an awkward section of road walking there. As you can see, it's quite busy on a Saturday. Not sure what it'd be like on a weekday, but no quarter given by the cars. This is the bridleway marker that you're looking for, minuscule, but it's basically at the edge of the caravan site. So once you get past that, now the interesting thing is, although this is a footpath, it's actually fenced off, so that's not good, is it? Bit of sedge, and the other sedge warblers in there. That's his warning note. Lovely bit of song. It's the closest I've been to the song ever. Can't see him though. Plenty of orange tips in this field that I'm walking through. But actually I don't think that is an orange tip, because it's not white. It's got a couple of eyes on its wings as well. So that one I'll have to look up. It's certainly orange, but it's not an orange tip. Interesting. Small, like an orange tip. Okay, here we go. My best friends. That's where I'm headed. I was just leaving the caravan park. The earthen bridge was easy enough to find. Now headed on along another sort of seawall, although it's not the sea. A kind of raised bank, which is thankfully occupied by sheep and not cattle. But like I say, these animals, whether they be sheep or cattle, all seem to get on top of a seawall if they can, or a raised embankment. Interesting. Passing what's left of Chittendon's cottages on the OS map. In the pond on my right, referred to in the text, and it's far from dry at the moment, albeit that it's only mid-June yet. Plenty of time for that to disappear. As you can see, it's shrunk already. Plenty of sheep in this field keeping their eyes on me. Still, as I say, rather them any day than the cattle. Amazing, hundreds of eyes watching me. All freshly shorn as well, I notice. Shorn the sheep. And as you can probably hear, lovely skylark accompanying me. I can actually hear in the distance guns being fired on the mid-ranges. So clear evidence that's being used today. They're finished soon though. 4:30 I think. Great picture there of a swan on what appears to be either its nest or a well-used resting place. So here we go, taking the optional extension to the wind farm. Yeah, this doesn't look very promising at all, does it? Not well maintained in any way, shape or form. Yellow wagtail there, I think, because I'm stood next to a rape field, and although it's not in flower, they do seem to like rape fields. That's the female. Male's just flown away and he's on a... That's him calling. Seems she's a bit braver than he is. That's the maximum of my range. A lovely shot of that male. As I say, just like a canary. I saw it a couple of years ago, well, last summer in Baldock in that rape field. Couldn't work out what it was. Pretty flat around here, not a great deal to spark one's interest, but it's rural, it's peaceful, and it's different, which is the beauty of England or the British Isles. Reed bunting again. Not sure what the interloper is, unless it's the female. Great for birds out here. Hope I'm on track here, because the field referred to in the text as being a grassy field is now either sweet pea or that nitrogen producing plant. I'm at the point 444 metres on, I think, with a sewer on my right. There's the old wind farm. My onward journey's ahead here by the sewer ahead, I think, and the sewer on the left turns left. So let's hope that I'm in the right position. Another wood pigeon less by the looks of it. Plenty of them about though, and we're not eating them much now anyway, so well done the hawks. 4:30, approaching Barn Farm there as we get ever closer to these giants. So here we are, 26 of these beasts are counted. You might better hear them now, particularly this one. 150 foot high, aren't they, I believe? Blades of a similar size, easy catch fire, very inefficient, and an eyesore. Surrounded by water, as I continue to say, we need to be focused on tidal, hydro, whatever you want to call it. Cop out to the EU, this is. Lip service. Still, I suppose it's better than the nuclear option down the road at Dungeness that was proposed and kicked into the grass, because of environmental concerns and also erosion. So thank God for that. Walking alongside Kent Ditch on my right, which is the county boundary between Kent and East Sussex. So at the moment I'm stood in East Sussex. Well, that was lucky. I've just had to come across this field behind me there from the wind farm, which is full of cattle, but luckily someone came out of the farmhouse and that attracted their attention and took them away from me. There's a bull there as well, as you can see. Here he is, look, wringing his nose. My goodness, no warning about that either. Top of the range combine there, hybrid as well. 300 grand's worth at least, I'd have thought. Tracks on it as well, Caterpillar tracks. Top of the range, probably aircon, DAB at least. So different to when my family used to do it. The journey is clear across this field of barley. At the last field, having just crossed the two-railed plank bridge, this field hasn't been cleared at all. For the first time today, I've just heard the strange noise that we heard last week. The Hungarian immigrant, the marsh frog. Not as vociferous as last week, but nonetheless. There you go. Ruddy jets in the background. Okay, there's the sewer on the left. Footpath to the right of it, however, is not, again, not very clear. I'm stood on a track here, having just crossed the earthen bridge. I think that's a marsh harrier. Can't get any closer. Top range of my lens. But we're in the right kind of terrain. It's not a buzzard. Could be a hen harrier, of course, but it's a big old bird. Yeah. Wonderful, I'd say that's marsh. Where's it gone? What amazing, eh? Marsh harrier, if it is one, amongst the wind turbines. Okay, let's let him go. 5:30. Looks like the marsh marigolds are on their way out now as well. 10 mile just up. Just as we approach the point where the main walk joins this walk at this footbridge. St Mary's, East Guildford, a barn church. Interesting, I've never seen one of these before. I say, English churches are amazing, the variety. Yeah, lovely. Just about make it out. St Mary's, Diocese of Chichester. Approaching Rye now, St Mary's Church there on the hill. Last leg of the walk, if you excuse the pun. 6:30 now, walking down the high street, a bit calmer and quieter now. Okay, 5 hours 7 minutes a little over 12 miles walked, and not a lot I can say about that walk really. A bit indifferent towards it. No outstanding features. Nice leg stretch, that was about it really. Nice bit of sand. Quite a lot of challenging field crossings. Probably even worse in winter when it's muddy. Encountered my enemy, the wind farm. Dealt with that. So yeah, not a lot I can say about that walk. Done, dusted. Free walk 154, SWC walk 154 completed.